Casey's Audio Vault.
Dean Roland from Collective Soul.
September 30th, 2009. You guys have a new album out, another self-titled release. Now, does the band refer to this one as Rabbit because of the album art, or is that fan-created?
Yeah, it's just kind of like, I think it's just a natural thing when you got a picture of a rabbit on the cover. Well, we kind of say the Rabbit album or the new album, the latest release. It's all over the place, but officially it's just self-titled.
The band does refer to it as it, or is it just sort of grown into Rabbit?
It's just kind of grown into it.
All right. And this is the first disc on Roadrunner. Is there anything that kind of changed them making this one, or is it business as usual?
We actually kind of went back to where we started, or at least the way, the process of making the record. I'll put it to you this way. The last few records, we were going studios basically around Atlanta, and everybody at night would go home back to their individual homes. On this record, we sequestered ourselves in my brother's lake house up in South Carolina. So we would be up there for a week or two at a time. It was more relaxed. It didn't feel like it started to feel like a job for the past couple of albums. Where you were checking in and clocking out or whatever. This was more of a record when you wanted to record. We'd sit in a room and write together, and it was way more relaxed and more creative. I felt like, and I think the end product was a test to it.
In recent years, Collective Soul's been releasing their stuff on, I guess, your own label. What made you go to Roadrunner Records?
It was going to have to be a unique situation for us to do it. And Roadrunner has a couple of qualities that I really, really like. And one being, they're small enough to actually care and really help develop artists. Not just us, but others. I mean, I've watched them be with other artists, and they stick with them. It's not just all about the business, money side of things. And then the other side was they actually big enough that they have the money muscle to make things happen. So it was a nice blend of those things. And the other was, we had been doing, our independent thing for 5 years now, and it was just, I think we just wanted to be artists and musicians again for a while, not be fake business guys. So
for the previous release, you guys did kind of a Target-only release, and it seems like a bunch of bands, Pearl Jam most recently, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, they're going to the big box stores, going that route. How did you find that?
It was cool. I mean, it was a nice... the way the music industry is now, it's like all the old rules have been thrown out, so everybody's trying new and different ways of getting your music out there, and it was cool. It really was. The Target people were great to work with. To some degree, I feel like it definitely limits you from certain people, but if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it the very same way. But this time around, since we had done it, we felt like it was important to have it at as many places as we could and go that route.
Congratulations, Collective Soul, getting into the Georgia Music Hall of Fame.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, it's a great honor.
Yeah, you're in good company over there. Ray Charles, James Brown, Otis Redding, Allman Brothers, R.E.M. Was it a big night for you guys? Friends, family show up?
Yeah, it was. We had all the above. It really was a big night. It was bigger than I anticipated. But Georgia does have a rich musical history, and it's nice to be honored and be put in that company for sure. It's kind of doesn't feel like we deserve it, but whatever, you appreciate it and move on. So those things are nice.
Do you still live relatively close to where you grew up?
Relatively. I grew up about 30, 45 minutes south of where I live now.
Your music career, did it start with you and your brother Ed at a young age, or did you kind of grow into it later on?
Music was always around. Our dad was a Southern Baptist preacher, but before that, he was a voice major in college, so there was always music in our world. Personally, I was a late bloomer on being, considering music as a profession from a musician side of things. Ed was started earlier. So for me, to answer your question, I kind of fell into it, really, to be honest.
What were you considering as a possible career before music?
Well, I was studying music industry. I had dreams of owning a record label and doing that kind of thing. So being more on that side of the music side, but still dealing with music, that's what I knew I wanted to be a part of.
But now you're involved in a website, Sneaky Sunday. It kind of helps people find restaurants and clubs. Are you a bit of a food connoisseur? What got you into doing something like that?
Well, the idea came from so much traveling, and being in a different city every day, and wanting to know where the place to be was. Really, not even just to place to hang, but like where the good food is or where the nice hotels are, blah, blah, blah. And what events were going on. Just kind of like a day-specific guide would have been nice. And I'm talking to a couple buddies, and we just sort of ran with the idea and built the website. And we're actually going into the next, the new site, the new version of the site is being developed now. So it's, which is going to include a lot of the Canadian cities. So it's growing. It's good. It's a cool little thing.
Is this something that you still keep your hand in? Like you said, you're more interested in the business side of things when you're younger. Is this kind of where your outlet to do that?
Yeah, I'm definitely involved, but more so as just a influence, a visionary kind of, along with the other guys. But I'm not on the day-to-day side of things with it. Yeah, but we get together and meet and see where we want to take it and use whatever influence I have to help grow it.
I see you have a birthday coming up, turning 37. I got my 32nd birthday the following week. Do you like birthdays, or are they getting less fun as the 30s roll on?
Good question. Actually, I don't mind them. And oddly enough, I kind of like them more and more. The older I get, I'm more proud that I've made it this far. And I think I took it for granted for so many years. So I'm kind of digging them these days.
And it looks like on the tour schedule, you're going to be in between Toronto and Thunder Bay for your birthday, October 10th. Do you have any, you've got the day off, but are there any ideas, any plans?
I've got a couple of my buddies that are going to come up there, and we'll do a little celebrating in some form. I'm not sure exactly how yet, but I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Look out, Thunder Bay. Hopefully it's a good birthday. We've been talking to Dean Roland, guitarist in Collective Soul. They're on a cross-Canada tour. Their new album is in stores right now. Dean, thanks so much for coming on Power 97's Rock Report.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All the interviews you want on iTunes and at power97.com. Casey's Audio Vault.
Casey Norman is Power 97's music director and can be heard every weekday from 2 till 6 in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
Power 97 is Winnipeg's best rock.